What is up, guys? Welcome back to Stateside Fishing. My name is Paul Horowski. Today I would like to present to you several new shanks I've developed for fly fishing. I've named them the Transformer Shanks simply because they let you transform your fly, interchanging tails, heads, changing the hooks out with ease. And I have a couple different, actually several different sizes. As you can see here, these two bottom ones, this one is the Mega Shank, I call it. It's 0.051 wire diameter, and it has an open hook slot here for adding a hook to the front of your fly. As you can see here, this one has a double hook facing up. This one is also 0.051, so both of these are, I recommend them for muskie here. This one here is 0.043 wire diameter. It's a great pike, even bass it's good for, and muskie as well, depending on what size of fly you want to tie. And then these bottom two, this one is 0.035, and the smallest one I make is 0.031. This one is excellent for little bass flies like this one, for example. This is just a dubbing minnow I made. What's cool is what you can make one big fly. This one, for example, is the biggest one. It's a little over 12 inches and it's 3 shanks. It has the big Mega Shank, and then it has one of these here and one of these. So that's how this big one is tied. And this one here is actually a dual fly. You can see there's other eyes in there. So it has one big thick fly in the front and one smaller fly in the back. I like using that method when I get a follow or a bunch of follows and the fish is really not going for it. I'll just take off the back and use the smaller fly, and I'll show you how that works. This one has a smaller fly here as well, and this one, for example, is a fire tiger. In the back I have a little dirty chicken presentation that you can take off, and then it becomes a single hook. And then this is the smallest shank. Like, for example, this was an awesome fly. The head is perfect, but the tail got chewed up. So in that instance, I also make them for tying straight onto a hook. So you can just swap out your tail if it gets chewed up. And I do make 3 different sizes for that as well. Let me just show you how to separate the shank, to separate this into 2 flies. This is the Mega Shank, so it does have a hook in the loop. You can see here. And it was a treble hook, but I cut one of the trebles off, one of the hooks, and now it's just a hook that faces upwards like this. This allows me to go over logs without getting snagged. I also like to have a double hook in front, because if the fish comes from the left or the right, that front hook will probably grab him if he's going for the head. And in the back, I always just have a single hook facing up. So both of the hooks face up, that way I can go over logs. I fish a lot of rivers, go over rocks and stuff, and not dull out my hooks or get snagged. To separate them, you just undo the clip, you slide the fly off. You shouldn't have to bend the actual push clip. You just push it open, slide it off, push it closed, or you can even attach another hook here and make this into a dual hook fly. Right now it's a single since we separated it. And you can see you have 2 different profile flies and colors. This one's much thicker, this one is thinner. And let's say you have the you want to make a black and a chartreuse. All you have to do is undo the clip, take off the existing hook, and just slide this one right onto the shank. And now you have this black and yellow chartreuse color. That's how easy it is to change your presentation with these shanks, guys. Another cool thing about these shanks is that they are bottom heavy due to the clip that I make. I've made other ones with different clips. I used to use these twist clips, but the problem with these twist clips is that they do unbend and your fly can separate. Not only that, it doesn't leave you much space for putting hooks under the tails. And another reason why I stayed away from these twist clips is they're not straight, so they can get caught up on each other unless you close them off halfway, which you can't. They have to stay open. You can't just tie the thread onto them. So this is why I went with this style of push clip. It doesn't fail me. It's worked for me for years. I use it on my leaders. And the loop is an open loop that lets you slide on a treble hook or a single hook. without having to put a split ring. I really like that method. That way your hook is not really long, and like over here on this one, you can see the hook is just like this. It's got material in front and in back, and it just holds it in place when you're fishing. Another huge benefit about using these shanks, the fact that they're bottom heavy, is you can actually put a hook any way you like, whether it's facing up or facing down, and it's not going to rotate your fly and flip it upside down like it would on a standard shank. For example, this fly is facing up now. I usually fish rivers and stuff, but if I'm going to fish like a deep river or a lake where I know I'm not getting snagged, I simply just take my hook off and I flip it around so that way it faces down like a standard hook would. And now my fly has a hook facing down. So there's many benefits to these shanks, guys. I just wanted to show you guys one more thing, and that's how to open and close this shank. You just push it open. Once it's open, you don't want to bend this away from the wire. You don't need to. That can weaken it over time if you keep bending it. So don't bend it. Just put your little loop and slide it on. That's how simple it is. And then you just push it closed. To open, same thing. You actually hear it click off. There you go, guys. These shanks are available on my website at statesidefishing.com for anyone interested. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and until the next one. Peace.